EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Now the veteran kicker, Phil Dawson, ready to get us started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. It'll be Case Keenum leading him onto the field, making his first start in a Denver Bronco uniform.
And at the 2018 draft, when the Broncos number came up at 5, plenty of chatter that they might take a quarterback right there. Remember, Josh Allen was still on the board. Josh Rosen was still on the board. But the Broncos made a commitment to Case Keenum in free agency, and they're living up to it. Did Keenum.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Muscling free near the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
So much of this game is still mental, still psychological. Yeah, we just saw a big-time run right there, but you have to believe he was dreaming about this last night in his hotel room before this one, thinking, hey, first time I touch it, let's go for some big yardage and set a tone. That's exactly what he got done.
Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the...
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum got a man. He finds Sanders. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time at yards. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out in a good one as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. We get a glance at Josh Rosen, the rookie quarterback from UCLA, drafted 10th overall. He'll be the man under center.
When you think of some of the most successful quarterbacks in Arizona Cardinals history, you think of guys like Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner, Jake Plummer. But none of them began their career with the Cardinals. They would like to have their own homegrown guy. Could Josh Rosen be that guy? They drafted number 10 in 2018. They're looking forward to watching him develop.
It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Flushed out right. And some room to work. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move. Here he lost the football, but I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Rosen looking to throw. Fights him off, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 7-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Keenum. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw
hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum muscles by at the 25. And he'll find Sutton on the right side complete. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And on the ground they go with a running back. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now it's Keenum. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Keenum. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is T.J. Logan to return it. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Looking at what the Arizona Cardinals have done so far this year, Charles, not great. 0-4, the only winless team in the NFL. Now, the Josh Rosen era did begin last weekend against Seattle. Once again, Von Miller in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. On 2nd down, Rosen. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Cardinals. 49 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Flush to his right. Throw right side, complete to Williams on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight. The number 2 pick back in 2011, Von Miller still doing his thing.
Boy, is he ever. If I were an offensive tackle, I don't know what I would do. I would tell the tight end he's got to stay in on all passing situations and help me out because he's got every move imaginable. One of the quickest guys off the ball in the league, and he's going to get to the quarterback.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to 6. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Dawson able to connect on the extra point. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 8-yard line. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. On 3rd down, it's Lindsey. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Broncos send out their punter now. Christian Kirk deep to return it. And this will be taken at the 13. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the line. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. With it on the return is Logan. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead.
Fitzgerald. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On 3rd down, Rosen escaping the pressure right. Fighting through, dumping it off for Johnson. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense. Let's see if the offense gets done.
First catch there for Thomas. It's a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Dayon Buchanan. In from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right
Still second
guard.
down.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded just inside the 20. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Fitzgerald's got it right side. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Chad Williams, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. It was almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Underneath for Johnson, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They want to go to the air again with Rosen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. And he's got Fitzgerald. They did the part they had to do. Quick throw, got the 1st down.
But that doesn't allow them to relax. They still have plenty of work to do.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one.
Coming from the Cardinals, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now the Cardinals are going to use another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he's on to kick it away. And he fields it cleanly. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Rosen in the... They'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. That'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. Flushed out right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. There again, decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.